Good evening, all of you. Welcome to Hema's Kitchen. Today I'll be making idli and sambar. First, before we proceed, I have already ground for the idli because it has to ferment. So I'll just tell you what measurement and how to grind it. Because idli, if you want it fluffy and soft, you have to give importance to its grinding. So for idli, the rice should be idli rice. It's a parboiled rice. So it is in Indian store. If you go, you will see that it's idli rice. You have to buy that particular rice, idli rice. And ulud dal, if you can get the whole one without the skin, that is preferred. And if you do not get it, you buy the broken one, but the white one. Then you have to have 3 cups of rice. Any measurement you can take any size. This one cup, big one, small one, whatever size. And if you are taking the rice heap, then take the ulud dal also, which should be the same measurement you have to do. So 3 cups of rice and 1 cup ulud dal. You have to soak them separately. The rice 3 cups separately and the urud dal. When you do the urud dal, when you soak it, you add 1 teaspoon of fenugreek seed along with that, and then soak them separately for a minimum of 4 hours up to a maximum of 6 hours. Minimum 4 hours up to maximum 6 hours you have to soak them separately. Then after that, wash it thoroughly and then soak it. And then before you grind, again wash it once. And first you grind the urud dal. The dal should be ground as fine as possible without adding much water. Try to use the least amount of water, and water preferably should be cold water. You keep a glass of water inside the fridge, and then you can use that cold water. And if you do not have cold water, you can use ice cubes also instead of the normal water, because when you grind it in the mixie, it's bound to become hot because the machine becomes hot. So the actually the product inside also becomes slightly hot. So in order to avoid that one, then it will not be fluffy. So you have to use either ice cubes or cold water to grind it, and use as minimum water as possible. And it should be ground as fine as possible, very, very smooth. And then how will you find out whether it is ground enough? Take a cup of water, normal water, tap water, and just put a small amount of dough inside that one, and then it will float. If it floats, that means you are ground enough. Then take that out and then you grind the rice. Rice should be ground to a fine semolina texture, not too soft, but at the same time not too coarse also. It should be fine semolina-like thing. If you grind that way, then you can make both idli as well as dosa with the same batter. If the grains are slightly more coarse, then dosa won't be, you will not be able to make a very smooth and thin dosa. It will be like uttappa. So that's how you have to, and then after grinding, add both together and add the required amount of salt, and then mix it thoroughly and leave it for fermentation for a minimum of 8 hours overnight. Or if you grind it early morning, but here it is very, very impossible I ground it day before yesterday on Monday, because the weather was quite warm, so I could get it fermented. Otherwise it becomes very difficult to get it fermented. So what generally I use it in a cold weather, take a small blanket and keep the pot, and usually suppose you have this much batter, allow half this one open space, because if it ferments, if it comes up, it will just fall out. And then cover it with a heavy lid, and then put some cloth, towel or kambal, like a blanket or something to cover it. And if the weather is warm, then it's okay. It will be, but a minimum of about 48 hours is needed in this country, in the cold weather. And the normal, this thing, I ground it on Monday evening. And then today, now it is very well fermented. Okay. So that's about the atta. I'll tell you when this one I'll let you know. And then now we'll go for the sambar. For the sambar, there is difference between the normal sambar what we make for our rice preparation and this tiffin sambar, because this one is eaten with either vada or dosa. So that has already got salt in it and it has already got some spice or masala in it. So this one we want slightly less spicy and less, what to say, less salty. You know, even tangy, it shouldn't be too tangy, slightly lesser of everything. So I'll tell you how to make it. So we'll start doing, first we fry the things for masala. So I'm just putting the gas on. Okay, I have here dhania 1 tablespoon, one teaspoon chana dal, 1 teaspoon of urad dal, not even 1 teaspoon, little lesser than 1 teaspoon also, urad dal, half teaspoon fenugreek seed, half teaspoon jeera, cumin seed, and then I've taken 2 red Kashmiri chilies, 2, 1 normal chili, and a few leaves of curry leaves, 4 or 5 curry leaves. Just about half teaspoon oil. When we make the normal sambar, we don't use so many of the ingredients that we will do again later. But in this one, we put some extra spices because this is the one that brings that extra flavor in the restaurants. I have taken about half cup in this one, small cup. I've taken just little over half cup of tur dal, and I washed it and kept it. Washed it and kept it here. We will just pressure cook it also. I'm adding little turmeric. The tur dal, I just soaked in the water for almost 15-20 minutes. So this one, I'll put it inside the, we'll let it cool for some time and then I'll put it in the grinder jar. We'll make sambar in this one. This is a very small teaspoon, so I'm just using about it's about 1.5 tablespoon of oil. I have here one small onion cut into just cubes and a few curry leaves. So I'm just adding it here. In the list, I have given a few vegetables. Those are the only vegetables which you use in sambar. You cannot use any vegetable like cauliflower, broccoli. It will give a distinct, different flavor. So we don't use any of those. Out of these, whatever I have given, from those you can use 1 or 2 or just one, any 1 or 2. It's up to you. But in the restaurant, they always definitely use onion. And then this small that that you get that shallots, small ones. So I am using this one also. I left here 2 small pieces to be ground along with the masala. So I'll add the tomato. 2 small tomatoes I've taken. 2 small tomatoes. and reduce the heat for the pressure cooker. Okay. As soon as you add tomatoes, add a little salt so that the tomatoes become mushy faster. Very little. Turn it into the mixer jar. Okay, let it cook for a few minutes. I'll just powder this. I've taken this, I'll just powder it and come. So this is the powder I got, masala powder. We don't know how much we're going to use it, so that's why I just taken it in a plate. Now there is very little masala inside this one. Along with that, I'll grind this shallot. I'll close this cooker gas. Yeah, tomatoes have become a little mushy now. I'm adding about a glass of water. Now I'll add the other vegetables. I'm going to add a few yellow pumpkins, just a small piece, and a very small eggplant cut into cubes. I'm adding that, and then about 4 or 5 pieces of drumstick. It's up to you. If you are not interested, you need not add any vegetables. If you like, you can add. I'm adding that also to this. Turmeric, 1/4 teaspoon, and I'll add salt for the vegetables. I will cover this one. Okay. Here's my idli stand. You have to grease the plate before you. So I'll just put a drop of oil. Just one dot, that's it. And batter, once you use it and then you put it in the fridge, when you make it next time, see that you take the atta out and leave it at least for a couple of hours before you actually make it. It shouldn't be too cold. If you take direct from the fridge and then try to pour it, it will not be soft. It should be room temperature. So I'll make it in the pressure cooker. You can use a big pot wherein it should go inside properly. That's it. So I'm using this one. I'm using a stand inside. It's about 2 cups of water, because about 2 cups of water. And first you put the heat on. When it starts boiling, that is the time when you should put the plates in. You remove the whistle. Whistle should not be there. Remove the whistle. The batter is here. It should be pouring consistency, but shouldn't be too thick. If it is too thick, it will be very hard. And if it is watery, it is going to just sink. It won't be fluffy. So you see that should be the consistency. If you are doubtful, just make one stand, 3 or 4, and then try. If you feel it is too hard, you can add little water. But whenever you add water, see, start adding only with tablespoons, not just pour water like that. You cannot take it out. It's hot, but let it start boiling and then I'll put it. Water started boiling. Cover it and no whistle. Whistle should be removed. They take about 8 to 10 minutes. It's almost half cooked. Now I'll add tamarind. One very small teaspoon. And some hing. Asafoetida. And in restaurants, they always use jaggery. So I am using one small teaspoon of jaggery. Give it a stir and allow it to cook for another 5 minutes. The dal is cooked well. You have to either use a masher. Dal is ready. Now after this, we pour the dal and then allow it to cook for another 5 minutes, and then we do the tadka. And pour the dal. Add enough water to check the consistency. You know how the sambar is. Now I'll add about 1 teaspoonful of this. Keeping one kadai. Generally for sambar and rasam, we definitely use ghee for tempering. I'll mix both, but not too much, just 1 teaspoon, that's it. One small, so I'm using only very, very small spoon. 1 spoon of ghee. One small spoon of oil. And the oil is slightly hot. Mustard seeds. Quarter teaspoon of fenugreek seed. One small red chili broken into 2. It's fluttering, and fenugreek should be light brown. A few curry leaves. And 1 teaspoonful of this masala powder in the ghee. And then add this tadka to the sambar. The last thing we add is finely cut coriander leaves. We have plenty of coriander leaves. So sambar is done. One more thing in the restaurant, what they do is, at this stage, they add 1 more spoon of jaggery. Well, generally, people just drink the sambar by itself with a spoon. And many people, they prefer to have it a bit sweet. So generally in restaurants, always you will find it a bit sweeter. I have not made it, but at this stage, you can add 1 more spoon of jaggery. Allow the steam to come out. And see, it has puffed up. It's not, if it is very watery, it will just sit, it will not come up at all. Okay. And to do not take it off immediately, allow it to cool for about at least 3-4 minutes before you take it out. Otherwise, it will stick to the bottom. The whole thing will not come out smoothly. And one more thing is that we can do, just turn it the other way, and then you can pour some water. At the back, you just pour some water. And allow it for a couple of minutes. And if you're reusing it again, it's better to just apply 1 more drop of oil so that it doesn't stick at all to the bottom. You can use a spoon or a knife or whatever. See? And it's very, very soft. Very soft. Remove from the edges. Okay? So it has come out properly.